Hello, everybody. Tatiana Ward-Gote here. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a little while. I figured I should stop in to give you guys an update on my weight loss journey. It has now been 1 year since I started taking semaglutide. Or is it pronounced semaglutide? I don't know. Anyway, February 22nd was my 1 year mark. That was the day that I started taking Wegovy in 2023. And what a year it has been. By all accounts and purposes, semaglutide really has been a miracle drug for me. I am somebody who has struggled with weight loss my entire life. I turned 40 this year, so I guess I started taking the drug 6 months before my 40th birthday. And the only thing that really hindered my progress was developing or having gallstones that were disruptive and painful. Because of the gallstones, my doctor decided to not continue to prescribe me the medication anymore. And if you don't know the backstory on just this entire year, I have documented so much of this journey from day one of, I think it was like my first weeks of taking semaglutide up until present date. You can see the health scares and everything is detailed in my playlist here. If you guys want to go just watch my entire journey, if you're starting out, you can really see my progress. So as the weeks and months go by, more and more people are starting to talk about drugs like Wegovy, Mounjaro, Ozempic. I think the FDA is getting ready to approve a new drug, all of them semaglutide, that, are helping people like myself who have struggled with weight loss. And the topic becomes more and more something that we're seeing like almost daily on the news. This drug is definitely changing the course of, I think, American history, maybe global history. So much so that a very huge production company came to me and was like, we're doing a huge special on this thing, and we want to use your content for primetime television. We'd like to take a snippet of your video and you talking about your experience. And they asked for permission to use my video. That was a whole thing. Like, long story short, I'm not gonna be in the special. I think in part because of just like politics. Like, I wouldn't just give my content away without being credited for my content. But y'all, that's a whole other story. But I said that to say, people are talking about this more and more and more and more. People are admitting to taking this drug more and more and more and more. People in Hollywood. And a year ago, it really felt like I was the only person talking about it. So the fact that we are here now at this stage where I swear to you, like, I feel like I see something about semaglutide on nightly news every night. And I watch the news every night. I guess I'm just an old person like that. And also, I really try to stay up to date with what they're saying about this drug because it is so new and people are using it now in a way that they never have before. But anyway, it's just, I feel like what I'm trying to say is it is nice to see the stigma and the curtains being rolled back off of this drug, and the fact that people, huge celebrities and the little guys like me are having conversations, even on primetime network television, about how obesity is a disease. You are not a loser if you need to take this medication to maintain a healthy weight. The struggle is very real, and I think the world, is changing and sort of seeing it that way more and more. And that makes me super happy. My story is just like unremarkable. Like, there's millions of people globally, billions of people who are struggling with their weight and have always struggled with their weight and have a propensity to have issues with weight because they are genetically dispositioned to struggle with it. There's so much shame involved in not being able to control your weight. And especially as women, there's so many other factors that play into the weight struggle. For me, if you've watched these videos from the beginning, you know that my journey started with me going to an endocrinologist and saying, hey, I have never been able to keep my weight under control. I have horrible, horrible periods that last for sometimes weeks. I'm lethargic. I'm bigger than I've ever been. This was about 3.5 years after having my daughter. So the journey started there, and I didn't even know that there was this drug. it was he that introduced me to this idea that there are shots that can help you lose weight. And it turned out for me, a lot of my weight gain was due to a hormonal imbalance. And we found this out over so much testing. I ended up having PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Anyway, this drug has helped with so much of those problems. Now I see my endocrinologist for the first time, I think, in 3 months. And I see him on Monday. Last we spoke, he stopped giving me Wegovy, or stopped prescribing it, because I was having gallbladder issues. He wanted me to get my gallbladder removed, and then the next time I saw him, we would discuss possibly getting back on the drug. So it's kind of like my day of reckoning with him, because I'm going to have to explain to him that I never did get my gallbladder out for various reasons. Again, go back and watch my playlist if you want to know what's up with that. Also, I had excess Ozempic pens and Wegovy pens laying around, so I never completely stopped taking it, even though he stopped prescribing it. And I'm just going to explain that to him. I'm going to tell him, listen, here's the deal. Hi.
Hurry up, family misses you.
Super random. He was just out running errands and just, I guess, wanted to come in and let me know he was home. Anyway, life's good, really, really good, by the way. Loving my husband, loving my family, loving my life. If you don't know, I got married this year. There's a whole backstory to that you're welcome to see also. I'll put a link in here. Not your average love story. But anyway, I'm going to have to just explain to my endocrinologist that the last time I saw you, you cut me off from Wegovy, and I scheduled my appointment 2 times to get my gallbladder removed, but something happened the first time, and then something happened the second time, and also I'm just really uncomfortable with it, and I've only ever had 2 more flares, and then, y'all, I've been keeping it totally under control. That doesn't mean that it couldn't happen tonight, where my gallstones become disruptive again, and I have an issue, and, whatever. But all I can do is just talk to him about it, explain to him that I don't want the gallstone to be removed. We can continue to check. All I could do is suggest. I don't know why I can't just sign a waiver saying, like, if something happens with my gallstones, it's not your fault. It's not your bad. Like, it's not my insurance that's no longer approving it. It's my doctor that's no longer prescribing it. And if he doesn't prescribe it, then I got to just start saving my pennies and going to like a med spa, because you can now get this drug at like med spas. And that is just what is so crazy about this drug. Those of us who need it, those of us who've struggled lifelong, listen, this isn't extracurricular stuff for me right now. I've been on YouTube since 2008. If you've been here since 2008, you have seen my weight fluctuate. You have seen me lose 70 pounds back in the day from being on Weight Watchers, counting calories, walking for, I think I was walking 7 miles a day just to get down to a normal weight. All the years that I've been on YouTube, you have seen my weight fluctuate.
Those of you who follow me on Twitter and those of you who follow me on Facebook know that I have been speaking a lot in the past week about losing weight and really buckling down and losing weight. I started doing research and really needed something that was effective and kind of like a lifestyle change. I didn't want to go on a diet necessarily. I just wanted to slowly, steadily lose weight and just learn how and what to eat. She magically appears out of nowhere every single time. So I did some research and decided that Weight Watchers was probably going to be the best bet for me. And the reason being, I've known people in the past who had really great success and managed to keep their weight off with Weight Watchers. And as far as I'm concerned, weight has always been an issue with me. I have never been a thin person before. I've never really been under 170 pounds.
I'm not 20 something and just looking to lose a few pounds. I'm 40 years old. There's a known history with me of weight issues. There's a known history in my family of weight issues. So people like me with a lifetime of weight-related issues, come hell or high water, now that there is a solution for me, I'm going to pay that money. I'm going to go to a med spa and figure out where I can cut costs so that I can continue to take this medicine. So since I've not been taking Wegovy or Ozempic consistently, I never stopped taking it. But there's like some weeks that I do and some weeks that I don't, and you're supposed to take it weekly. I've done all right with maintaining some weight loss. At one point, I got down to like 170 something, and that was like a 70-pound weight loss for me. I'm going back and forth with 10 pounds, and I'm not on the dosage that I should be either. I'm at the point where I should be on the maintenance dosage, because there's different levels, different increments that you take of this medication until you reach the point where you're at what they call the maintenance dosage, which is the dosage that you're supposed to take till the end of time. The more I read, the more I learn, the more comfortable I am with saying, well, or likening it to a diabetic who gets their insulin levels under control, gets their A1C under control. Just because you've gotten it under control doesn't mean you stop taking your medication. It is very apparent to me that because I'm not at the dosage that I'm supposed to be at, and I'm not taking the medication as frequently as I'm supposed to, this is why I'm struggling with even maintaining a weight. It is true that once you stop taking it, you start gaining weight if you're not taking it consistently. So anyway, I'm interested to see what my initial doctor who prescribed the medication says after I tell him, I never really truly stopped taking it. Is there any way that I can keep my gallbladder and you will continue to prescribe this to me? I'm prepared for him to just say no. If he doesn't want to prescribe it, like I said, then I'll go to a med spa. I already know what med spa I'm going to go to. And they gave me the paperwork because they want to run blood tests, because they want to make sure that my pancreas is functioning properly before they give it to me. And I'm going to have to pay out of pocket, which is just insane. It's the price I pay for keeping my gallbladder. Like I said, when I first introduced this I'm having gallstone issues thing, at that time I told you guys about my sister, my biological sister, same mom, same dad. She had disruptive gallstones, I think in her early to mid 30s. She had several attacks and then it just stopped. And she is now 40, getting ready to be 44, and has not had a gallbladder or gallstone issue since she had a series of attacks probably over 10 years ago. She was never pressured to remove her gallbladder at all, by the way. And by the way, my mother's sister hit me up the other day telling me that her gallstones are not even disruptive, and her doctor brought it to her attention that she does have gallstones and suggested that she just get the gallbladder removed, and she hasn't even had any upsets. It all just lends to my idea that although I understand it could be very dangerous, and it goes without saying, passing gallstones is extremely painful. However, there is business in surgery. And to tell someone to get their gallbladder removed when they've not even had an issue with their gallbladder is insane to me. Especially when you know the statistics. I'm sorry, I just Googled it again. Especially when you read things like this. This is from Cedars-Sinai. It says, not all gallstones require treatment. In fact, up to 80% of people have gallstones and don't even realize it. I don't know what those numbers are. 80% though, 80% of like Americans, or 80% of like globally people, or 80% of adults, or 80, I don't know what that means, but just to me, it says a lot of people have gallstone issues. So if you're going to suggest that everybody remove that organ that they were born with, but before they even have any symptoms, like, and never knew that they even had gallstones, like, it's business. It's a business. I just take my bile salts every day, and so far so good. Also, if I'm traveling a long way from home, I watch what I'm eating, because, so much of what you eat can cause gallstones to be disruptive. I haven't heard anybody say this yet, but I know I'm not the only one, because you're never just the only one. I cannot be the only one whose doctor stopped prescribing them this medication because of some related yet unrelated thing, yet come hell or high water, they are going to find a way to still get the medication. Anyway, 1 year on semaglutide, even with complications, I'm going to call it a blessing and a miracle drug. It has done miracles for my mind. It's done miracles for my body. It's done miracles for my joints and my back and my knees. I'm excited to see more and more people talking about weight loss and talking about weight struggles. I'm excited that there is this very real solution. I hope the insurance companies start making it easier for people who just haven't even had the opportunity to get on it at all. It's changing the world. I hear even the food industry is changing how much food they produce because people aren't buying as much food. Novo Nordisk, who is the producer, the pharmaceutical company that makes Ozempic and Wegovy, they're making a buttload, obviously. They should be required to help or fund or something, do something for American families who are finding it hard to put food on the table, because now we have extra food. And also just globally. Like, let's send some of that money, and they should have to help people that are hungry. Look at me over here just trying to change the world. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm wishing you all the best. And I can't wait to see where this little journey takes me next. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.